incredible to have this resource of a drone.
Yeah, very much so. The drone is a new tool that law enforcement's using. The fire department has had it for a little bit in some of the wildfires to surveil the scene where helicopters can't get in. But in this case, the drone, they can actually fly it right up to the, looks like it's running a Prius, look inside, have a real-time feed, real-time information for the officers back at the command post vehicle, that white, looks like some sort of caravan. The bomb squad's there as a precautionary measure also, just in case they do feel they need to clear the vehicle. SEB, like Chris was saying, multiple vehicles have shown up. Ultimately, they're going to have to box this vehicle in from the front and the rear, and then tactically they'll have to formulate the plan, which they're doing now, and which they trained for, and then approach the vehicle.
And they must not have gotten the keys from that driver when she surrendered. She was probably just in a panic and getting out of that vehicle.
Yeah, you know, in this case, it looks like a newer Prius, so there may not be keys involved. It may just be a fob of some sort and a press button ignition. That's all conjecture on my part, but it does seem that might be the issue.
Good point there.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it's just incredible to see what's good. The amount of people there, the amount of law enforcement there.
I don't think we've seen quite this amount of police presence.
Think of the San Bernardino shooting.
If you zooms out, you'll see there's much more than what you're looking at right now. Just getting into position, I suppose.
Yeah.
What?
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I wasn't sure if my mic was up, but I was just going to say that it does sound like from scanner traffic here that the female driver is cooperating and giving some valuable information to law enforcement. Also, we have another observation, a report from the ground that there is indeed movement still at this moment, still coming from that passenger seat. So it does sound like the passenger is severely injured, but is still moving in the passenger seat as we speak.
So and the time is of the essence here. Like if he is bleeding, he could. Who knows what will happen? But the sooner this ends, the sooner they can get the suspect into the hospital if they need to, or whatever they need to do.
But the big scary part about it is that there's a gun in that car, and and this person is not afraid to use it. So it's a very delicate and tricky situation to try to get this person out of the vehicle, because it's not like the normal one where they open the door and just give themselves up.
And we're talking about a possible murder suspect here. This started in Downey, and Bell Garden Police and LA County Sheriff's Department started chasing these two people in this Prius, and we saw the driver get out of the car with her hands up. This passenger remains in there, but we did see him stick his half his body out the window and shoot at officers. So this is someone who is not afraid to die, and he's not afraid to shoot at officers. So they need to be very careful.
Yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. And Bruce Thomas, you're also on the phone with us. Again, when you're watching the amount of steps being taken to try to get this person out of the vehicle, what is it that you're thinking that's going through these law enforcement minds right now?
Well, there is an incident commander or a supervisor on scene, and they're requesting additional resources if needed. You have, it looks like the City of Commerce sheriffs are there, maybe East LA. You do have some other outside agencies, Downey, but when SEB rolls, they roll with multiple vehicles, multiple tactical vehicles. So there is a large law enforcement footprint at this, for obvious reasons, because it's necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a very delicate situation, and obviously these law enforcement officers all know that their lives are at stake because this person has no problem pulling out that weapon and using it.
Yeah, the other thing, if I can just add, is time is on the side of law enforcement. There's no rush to get into this vehicle and to the suspect. They'll render it safe for officers to do so. But at this point, they probably will launch the drone to get an observation of what's going on. And they're formulating a tactical plan. And it looks like they're going to move the other Bearcat up now.
Yeah,
to possibly box the Prius in.
So they will box that car in, perhaps get the drone and be able to get a good look at the suspect, And you saw, I think there was 2 more Bearcats, and there comes a robot too. Wow, they're pulling out everything today, and this is quite a sight.
Yeah, you know, it's nice to have these kind of assets and resources, and when you have them, you use them. They train for these type of scenarios, so this is just an exercise that is real life.
We're seeing the drone flashing the lights, so they're about to use that as well. Hopefully they'll get their answers soon.
And you also know it's interesting that, you know, after any sort of, Bruce, you obviously can weigh in on this one, but after any sort of incident, especially something as dramatic as this, law enforcement take this as a study and then they sort of debrief on this and see what did they do right, what could have been done better. I mean, this really, they're doing it, they're very methodical with how they're going to get this person out of the vehicle.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It's called a tactical hot wash or a tactical debriefing, where everybody weighs in and they critique themselves. And sometimes law enforcement, and having been a part of these briefings, we're a little harder on ourselves than we need to be, but we need to make sure we do it right.
Yeah, exactly, because you never know when the next time will happen when they need to do exactly this thing.
Right, you see those 2 Bearcats though, they are, you know, as we were talking about it, boxing this Prius in. Not sure if they're going to go behind it, but they're getting a good vantage point to see if that
Right.
suspect is in fact incapacitated so much that they cannot move. They're, you know, to actually get out of the car.
How close they are to that vehicle.
Yeah, they're, I mean, right up next to
You
it.
see the back windshield there blown out, and I think the back passenger window as well.
So they're making their move. They're going to get a really close-up glimpse, as you can see, obviously, to tell what the condition is of that passenger. And I can't imagine it'll be too much longer before they actually extricate him. Just based on the proximity at this point, there's really nowhere for that vehicle to go, and they've ensured that if there was any question of that, they're now completely boxing him in with guns trained from all angles. And now officers, for the first time, able to get a really, really up-close look. Using those Bearcats, they can look right through their own bulletproof glass and make sure that that passenger, or decide whether he's still a threat or not. Again, they have brought in a number of tools, lots of technology showing up for the termination of this wild pursuit and a shootout here in Vernon this afternoon. Again, this all started as a pursuit out of the city of Downey. Downey police pursuing that Prius with 2 murder suspects on board through the streets of Downey, ending here at Downey and Bandini. A female passenger surrendering shortly after shots were fired, but it does look like there is a passenger who has been severely injured by gunfire inside the car still, and now it's just a matter of time, and I can't imagine it'll be too much longer before they finally bring this to a conclusion. But what a dramatic scene when you look at this shot right there. Look at this picture. Look at the number of officers that have been brought in from a number of different jurisdictions, predominantly LA County Sheriff's Office at this point. The number of resources, you notice the bomb squad, also the drone actually, I noticed a minute ago, the side of that drone actually said fire rescue, so they may be borrowing this drone for